Air pollution is generally regarded as a bad thing, but it has been suggested that man-made emissions could actually contribute to deeper, redder sunsets. Small consolation for those of us that wheeze our way around big cities. But if it does do this, how does it do it? Well, first, we need to consider the nature of light. Lights. Sunlight, like this strip of torchlight, is made up, quite naturally, of the colours of the rainbow, as seen smudged here on my t-shirt by virtue of that prism. The nature of each colour of light is slightly different. Time for the glow sticks. If you think of light as travelling as a wave, then the waves of red light at one end of the spectrum are relatively spread out, compared to the waves of blue light at the other end of the spectrum, which are much closer together. For most of its 93 million mile journey from the sun to the Earth, the light barely gets affected by the vacuum of space. But once it hits our atmosphere, then tiny particles of dirt and dust, droplets and even the air itself start scattering the light. And the more atmosphere it travels through, the more the light gets scattered. Depending on the wavelength, the colours of light get affected differently, and short wavelengths like blue and violet get scattered far more. The effect is to make the whole sky look blue. And then without those colours, what remains of the white light that left the sun tends to look a little yellow by the time we see it. So I've got myself a miniature sun and a dense little section of atmosphere, and I'm going to see if I can throw some colours out of this white light with a bit of homemade scattering. The coffee creamer I'm adding here also interferes with shorter wavelengths more than longer ones, producing a similar effect in my tank. At midday, when the sun's directly above us, it shines through the smallest amount of atmosphere, and so it tends to look its whitest. Well, just a little bit yellowy white. But as the day goes on and the sun drops below the horizon, it shines through far more atmosphere, 10 times more atmosphere at sunset, and consequently loads of the blues, violets and greens are scattered out, and mainly what remains are the oranges and reds. And that's what gives us those glorious colours of sunset. I'm now adding a bit more coffee creamer to simulate the effects of pollution. And that's because what's chucked into the air by vehicles and industry can also interfere with and scatter sunlight. Now this could produce a redder but dimmer sun in the evening sky. Now, whether that kind of sunset is a beneficial effect of pollution, I'm not so sure.